Stop fucking wasting money on pre-workouts. Let me show you how to make your own. What's going on, fuckers? Josh here, Uncaged Fighter. So today we're going to talk about pre-workouts, and more specifically how you're going to make your own pre-workout. I know not everyone needs a pre-workout, but I know a lot of you guys out there are using pre-workouts. I'm using them right now. I'm kind of in a maintenance, maybe a little bit of a building phase right now for me. So I'm using a pre-workout. But I'm not a big fan of going out and buying the pre-made stuff. A lot of the pre-made stuff has shit you don't need, shit that doesn't really work like they say it's gonna work, some stuff I've never fucking heard of. I like knowing what's going into what I'm taking, right? I like knowing that. And I like being able to customize. So when we're doing this, you're gonna see how you can kind of customize your pre-workout using these ingredients I'm gonna show you. And that's key, that is really key, because you might have, there might be different times of the year where you have a different dietary protocol, right? Where, one part of the year you might be low carb, another part of the year you might be higher carb. Being able to play with some of these ingredients is key. So it lets you know what's in there. It lets you customize your pre-workout. It's going to save you money. This stuff, when you look at the pricing on this stuff, and I'll have all of the pricing for everything that I use, all the links to that down in the not in the comments, but in the description. And you'll see that, kind of all together, and you see how long this is going to last you. There's a significant amount of cost savings. So that's a big one. And another one, and this one maybe is just for me, just kind of my personality, just how I am. Not a big fan of some of the naming and labeling of some of these pre-workouts. I mean, I don't know if you've seen some of these. Some of these are like super obnoxious, like Insane Asylum. A pre-workout Insane Asylum. Jacked. I think Jacked was discontinued or something. I think it had some amphetamines or something in it that was like killing people or some shit. Again, it has shit in there you didn't know. It was Jacked, but with a 3 instead of an E there at the end. It's not my style, man. So, I don't want, having like a bottle of that like laying around. Like my kids can see this shit. Like I don't want my wife or kids coming in and seeing my bottle of like convicted sex offender pre-workout. You know what I mean? So, I like to have just kind of low key type stuff. I'm not big and flashy. It's just not the kind of guy I am. So that's a perk for me. It may not be a perk for you. But let's go ahead and let's get into it. Let's talk about the ingredients that you're going to need. So first off, for any pre-workout, you're going to need something that is going to keep you hydrated. All right, so that's the big one, because really the main function of a pre-workout, it does two things. It gives you energy, right? And it gives you keeps your muscle cells hydrated. And the reason we want them hydrated is because that gives us an environment in which we can get a better pump when working out, okay? And a pump is when your muscles kind of fill with blood, that kind of interstitial area kind of fills with blood, and they get nice and pumped and you look fucking jacked. We want that, right? If muscle building is your goal, you want that pumped feeling. Arnold back in the day, he has a quote, and I'm going to paraphrase just a bit, that, having that pump is better than sex, right? I don't know if I agree with Arnold there, but it is a good feeling. And it's a good look. When you're pumped after you work out, you feel, you feel like He-Man, you feel like Superman. You look 10 times better with a pump. And we want that. And it's not just aesthetics, it's not just a temporary thing. It is something that's been proven to increase muscle protein synthesis. And hydration is number one here. So we want to go with something like what I think is probably the easiest to find, super simple to use. It's just straight up Gatorade. And this, I had no idea. When I ordered this, I guess I'm just terrible at reading what I'm ordering. It was really cheap. I think this was like less than $10. And this is a shit ton of Gatorade. I'm gonna have this for a while. This is like 96 servings, okay? So if you're using like one every time you work out, it's gonna last you a while. So Gatorade. This does have sugar in it, okay? And again, if kind of the pump is really your thing, you do want some sugar in it. Sugar is fuel during your workout. It is gonna help shuttle the water to the muscle cells. Again, just helping keep them hydrated. It also has the potassium, it has the sodium, okay? So those are two key, it hits 3 really good boxes right there for staying hydrated, Gatorade. And I'm sure, if carbohydrates are an issue for you during whatever time of year you're looking to have this, there is a 0 carbohydrate Gatorade powder. You just look for that. Instead, carbs, I'm kind of in a maintenance phase, and I'm logging these carbs as part of my daily carbohydrate intake, so it's not a big deal for me. So there's that. So we have our kind of the body of what we're looking for. Next is going to be our branched chain amino acids, okay? And I just went with the NutriCost brand. This, for the by weight, this was probably the cheapest. Bulk supplements is close, it's a close approximation. This was cheaper, and again, it's a nice low key label, so it doesn't look like anything. Just trying to be edgy for edginess sake. But yeah, branched chain amino acids. This is leucine, isoleucine, and valine. These are 3. They're essential amino acids, meaning that your body cannot make them on their own, right? But they have a lot of benefits. It helps increase muscle protein synthesis. It helps reduce fatigue, and it helps give you energy in the gym, okay? So these are a good, having some branched chains in there, great for your pre-workout. And if you are into maybe doing some sort of like a daily OMAD, or like an intermittent fasting schedule, like an 18-4, where you spend most of your day without calories, and then you have like an eating window kind of at the end of the day, or maybe in the beginning of the day, and then you don't eat during the rest of the day. Having like a little bit of maybe branched chain amino acids and some water, and just kind of sipping on that. Now this is plain, this is not flavored, so you would want to get like a low calorie or 0 calorie, 0 carbohydrate flavor packet to put in your water. This is something you can kind of sip on, and it's providing your body, especially the leucine. The leucine is what's going to really help you hold on to muscle tissue throughout the day as you're fasting. So if you're concerned in any way that fasting is going to cause you to lose muscle, which it won't. I have a video planned on why that some of these myths exist, and some of the research that's been done to show that fasting doesn't cause any more muscle loss than other types of dieting. We'll talk about that. But if it is your concern, branched chain amino acids with like a 0 calorie sweetening source, sip it throughout the day. That should be your go-to. Okay. So moving on, what else we're going to put into our pre-workout? Citrulline Malate. All right. Now this stuff is great. They used to put L-arginine in pre-workouts, and they switched to this stuff. And there was a time where we were doing L-arginine and this, but this works so much better, and it kind of helps with L-arginine that's already present in your system if you're on a kind of a high protein diet. So the arginine wasn't really doing anything anyway, and it became redundant with the inclusion of the citrulline. Now, what the citrulline does, it kind of creates a good, like nitric positive environment in your body, and it helps. This is what's going to really, really help ramp up that pump. So whatever your body's like normally capable of for getting a pump, the citrulline malate is going to jack that through the roof. And I hadn't used it before until recently, started using it, and it works quite well. There's a definite difference in the quality of the muscular pumps that I get just working out without the pre-workout, without the citrulline, and the quality of the pumps that I get with the citrulline, okay? So we're gonna throw that in there. And now this one is, again, this is why it's good to be able to kind of take these in and out. You're gonna want some Beta-Alanine in there as well. Beta-Alanine, really, it's mainly just for energy and for focus and for endurance. This is what's gonna kind of help push you through your workouts much more effectively. Now, kind of like creatine, you're going to want to kind of load this a little bit. So if you're gonna use this, now not everyone likes to use this, kind of gives them a flushed feeling, tingly feeling that's not pleasant for a lot of people. It's not so bad for me, so it doesn't bother me too much. So if it does that and you don't like it, feel free to leave it out. It's not an absolute requirement. But if you do like it, and I do, throw it in there. Throw it in there. So let's talk about, oh, you know what? I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. Last but not least, and again, we're gonna make this one an optional, just like the Beta-Alanine, is caffeine. And we're gonna do this in pill form. We're not gonna do this in powder form. We're just gonna do this in pill form, okay? And again, why I like being able to have this where I can kind of create my own is if I don't want caffeine for my pre-workout, if I've already had enough caffeine for the day, right? I can just opt to not have this. But with like a pre-bought pre-workout, you're shit out of luck. It has caffeine in there and there's nothing you can do about it. So with this stuff, I can add or take out anything on the list. If I have, let's say that you have something else on your list that you like to take pre-workout, right? And it could be anything. It could be a nootropic. It could be, anything, some sort of herb, something like that. You can throw it in there and you feel absolutely free to throw it in there, okay? But this is a good base. So let's talk about dosing here real quick. One of my favorite pre-workouts, Breakfast Champion, good old Bronchade. Pair that up with the aspirin, you get the EC stack, and that's gonna help keep the fat burning kind of through the roof. So that's just for me, how I like it. Now let's talk about dosing. So we're gonna get some water in our shaker cup. Okay, so I've got some water here, and I'm just gonna take, I use the whole freaking scooper. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna use half the scooper. About half the scooper. I did the measurements. That's about 23 grams. That's about a serving. So we'll do about half a little scooper, maybe a little bit more, right? Pop that son of a bitch in there. Usually, if I'm not on camera, I'd actually weigh this to see exactly what it was so I could put this in MyFitnessPal and I would know exactly how much I'm taking. But I'm on camera. This is YouTube land. Popping it in there. So weigh it, figure out how much you actually want so you can log the numbers, okay? Because these are calories here, all right? Boom, Gatorade, right there, Cool Frost. I'm gonna throw in 6 grams of branched chain amino acids. NutriCost has done me a favor. I don't have to measure that out. Their scooper is already gonna give me 6 grams of branched chain amino acids. Bam, pop that in there, boop, boop. And tighten that up. All right, citrulline malate. Again, 3 to 6 grams, 3 to 5, something like that. I do pretty good on just 3 grams. You may feel more You may feel more of a pump at 6. And it might be as based on weight. So if you're a heavier guy, if you've got more muscle, 6 might be more your style. But for me, 3, boom, right there, hot diggity dog. And Beta-Alanine. Now, oh no, wait a minute. Beta-Alanine is the one that I'm fine with. The Citrulline Malate actually does need a little bit more for me. 3 grams is not enough. 5 grams is my sweet spot. But I'm just gonna do a full scoop here because I don't want to sit there and measure it. So there you go. We'll do 6 grams. Bam, right there. Now, going over to the Beta-Alanine. Now for me, this is the one where I'm just fine with just a single scoop. I don't want to go over. I don't want to be too jittery. I don't want to get that flushed feeling in my face or my fingertips or anything like that. So just pop that in. Boom. Now, let's talk about extra stuff. I'm trying to keep my blood pressure down. Notice it was up a little bit. So I'm going to throw in a little bit more potassium chloride into this shake. And I'm just going to do about 1/4 of a tablespoon, or 1/4 of a teaspoon. Holy shit. 1/4 of a teaspoon in here. Bop. Trying to get about 4,000 grams or 4,000 mgs of potassium chloride in a day. I'm running experiments, seeing if that can help lower my blood pressure. Okay, and then that's it. I'm just spin this on here, and I'm good to go. Shake it up. Bam, pre-workout right there. I'm gonna suck this down with my caffeine, and I add Bronchade to this as well. This is not for everyone. Not for everyone. Probably should do a video on this, but this helps out a lot for me. Really makes me feel like it makes my workouts much more intense. My focus is better with the Bronchade, and it keeps the fat accumulation to a minimum. So I like that. And there you go. That's how we be doing it, my guys. And super fucking simple. And you can, like I said, you can add, subtract, whatever you want to do with this. But this is a good base for building your own pre-workout. And again, I'm going to have the links to all these, everything I used. I did my absolute best to find the least expensive but highest quality ingredients. Okay, so sometimes there's a balance there. I could probably find really shitty stuff from like Botswana or something, and say, oh, let's get the cheapest shit out there. But it's probably not the best idea. So there's going to be a little bit of balance here. If you want to shop around, I mean, Amazon has a ton of stuff to look for. The names of everything, so you can kind of do some shopping on your own. But I've done some of that work for you. I found what I think is going to be best quality to price ratio for you guys. Yeah, and so that's it. Probably rambled on too long. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave them in the comments section. Don't forget to leave a like, helps out a lot. And if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. It helps out a lot. Thanks a bunch, guys. Have a good one.